It's the Date Master, and we're back. We got a question for you guys I want to ask. Do you believe in free will or destiny? And what do you want out of this life? These are questions that we are rarely asked, and we're not asked at the appropriate age. Because once you ask a question and you get an answer to a question such as this one, now we need steps or some type of strategy or guide to attain the things that we are answering yes or no to, whatever that looks like. So the Matrix Resurrections came out, and I'm a fan. I'm a movie buff. I saw different reviews. You had some rants and raves, 4 stars. Then you had people saying it wasn't as good. And I asked, what were people expecting? To me, it was a great movie for those who are into the movies, especially such as The Matrix, etc. There's so much symbology in the things that we watch, listen to, repeat, whether in school, church, etc. We do not pay attention to how they affect our psychological process, how we acquiesce to these notions, because seeing images, listening to words over and over again, we start to believe in them. We start to adjust and assimilate to them. Just like the deviant behavior we see daily on the internet and experience in real life. It becomes the norm to where nothing shocks you. We are in a desensitized culture. So one would ask, do you believe in free will? Or do you just have a destiny that you're not going to be anything? Or you have a destiny that you're going to be great? But to have free will is to write your own destiny. You have this thing called predestination. Pretty much, it's already said you're not going to be anything less than a bellhop or anything less than a peasant. I don't believe in such notions. I believe that you write your own way. I believe that you get you get out of life what you put into it. As a man, I'm 37. I'll be 38 in February. Things are just now starting to resonate. And people, in this space, we have a time clock. We have a competitive diagram, which is good for evolution. It does keep you on your toes, but never get caught up in someone else's plan. Never get caught up in a narrative that says if you're not where you need to be at this age, you're not shit. You look at Kevin Samuels, he gets a lot of slack, but here is a man who, again, in his early 50s, has blossomed into a household name at 50 years old, or early 50, 52, 53. That is a example of a man who has not quit, who did not quit, who did not listen to the naysayers. He has his own brand, his own style. Having your own identity will come with issues. I noticed this when I went into the awakening in 2013. I had a bad experience at church and I walked out because it something always tickled the back of my mind. And I said, this is not right. And that was the day that I left, and I started doing my own research 4 or 5 hours a day, sometimes all day. I wanted answers. I still want answers, because the more you know, the more you realize you know nothing. Information evolves just like we do. Yesterday's price is not today's price. So a man will get consumed by society because you are an outlier. You do not fall in line. You will get weird looks. You will have a lot of opinions about, especially if you're vocal. When I first came out of the sleep or the slumber, I had the true definition of red pill rage before it was actually a thing. I was pissed because I was sold a dream of lies. I was sold a bed of lies And I'm sure you were too. I'm sure you, once you came out of the slumber, you had some type of anguish that, how could my parents lie to me? How could they sit and revel in lies and not seek the truth about themselves, about the world, and evolve into something that no one else in the family has evolved into? Taking this red pill, and this is just an oversaturated word, there's always been a red pill, but it was hidden. Now the red pill, like I guess you could say, it went mainstream. It's for sale now because everything is about $1. And I get it. We definitely want to be about our money, but you must understand and be able to identify the real from fake. A lot of the shit that you see in this space, it cannot be taught. I know we have a lot of dating coaches and all of this. In reality, you either have it or you do not. You either go get it or you won't have it. A lot of these principles and things that make women attract to you, that make things happen for you success wise and other, a lot of these things cannot be taught. They must be in you. But how could you identify something is in you when you're hiding from yourself? When you're hiding from reality, when you're hiding from people who you feel are better than you? I want to be around people that are better than me because I want to be better than what I am right now. You should want to be better than what you are right now. Again, this is day 3 on our 44 days of focus. I always employ men to take a period of take a time out of the year, and especially take a time out of your life to focus on becoming the best version of yourself, to make yourself supreme and a competitor. Because once you become different, you'll act different. Once your thinking becomes different, you will behave different. You won't be entertained by a lot of things that other people are entertained by. You won't be engulfed and immersed in BS. We are immersed in BS daily. It keeps us docile. The latest conversation has been Jay-Z. One would think Jay-Z just came out of the blue to say this. Jay-Z is an influencer. So when you look at your timeline, I'm sure yours, just like mine, has been talking about him for the past 2 days. That is what you call power. If someone can have their name in your mouth for a day or 2, weeks, whatever the case may be, you have power. Because if you did not have any power, why would you be the topic of conversation across the board, across many different genres, many different lanes and avenues? You wouldn't be the topic of conversation. So to ask, what do you want out of this life? A lot of the things that people want are tangible. Women want material goods. We want the intangibles. We want respect. We want the clout. We want the power. We do these things to get the power. We don't buy. You got these people who buy the Corvettes and Lambos, etc. And they really don't buy it they buy it because they have the ability and the financial power to do so. It is a symbol of their power. It is a symbol of their hard work, dedication, etc. So when you're looking at things that you want out of life, be mindful to not go for the material, because the material goes to waste. It goes to waste. It goes back to the bank. It really doesn't have any value. The only value it has is the value that we put on it. That's why trends come and go. 4 to 5 years ago, you couldn't tell a person anything that had on a pair of Balenciagas. Nowadays, a person wearing Balenciagas, the arenas, for those who are in the fashion, it's just like you got on a pair of regular shoes. The Giuseppe's that people were spending 1,300. The Biskinis that were at one point 900 are barely selling for $200. These trends come and go. And with life, you have trends. You have people that you appeal to one day, and then you look up, you're no longer appealing to them. This is why we must constantly reinvent ourselves, not to appeal to others, but to keep ourselves relevant to the times that we are in. You have those living in a time warp. They don't want to grow. They don't want to grow. I'm into sneakers and fashion and things like that, but I know at some point, maybe, some point I may not be into those things. I may evolve. My next lane that I'm going to get into is going to be classic cars, old school Chevys. That's what I like. So we want feeling. We want to chase the feelings as well, not as a woman, but we want feelings of accomplishment, success. Women want feelings of security, admiration, validation, etc. This is what separates us. This is what separates us. People will come into your life to keep you stagnant, keep you in a place of mediocrity and complacency because that's where they are. We have attachment issues to people and things that are not helping us grow, that are not contributing to anything that we do in life. And you have to ask yourself, why are we still here? And it's the intangibles. It's the respect that we give. It's the support. You'll have friends that won't buy one thing from you. Some will say you need to get rid of them. Some will say you need to get rid of them because they're not supporting you. But just because they're not spending any money does not necessarily mean they're not supporting. So again, everything that you see someone else does may not work for you. You may not be designed to have the hoes. You may not be built for that. You see these issues going on in the media with women, the men getting cheated on, treated a certain in a certain manner. They weren't ready for what they signed up for. If you don't have game, we talk about this game. That's why I say the game has to be in you. You can't teach game. It's a confidence and it's a knowledge base that you must have in order to navigate through this world, especially the dating market. And this is how you choose your destiny. This is how you really live inside of free will, because you understand what going down this road is going to get you and what this road is going to get you. Yet your attachment to the people who do not pour into you one way or the other, or things that do not help you, they consume you. And ultimately, you will tap out and you'll give up and say, I tried, when you really didn't. You only gave 50%. You will only get out of life what you put into it. Again, as a man, I'm gonna drive this message home. It is okay to be selfish at some point in your life. If your life has not brought the fruits that you wanted to see, if it has not brought the results, you need to go back to the drawing board. And you do that no matter what age, 30, 40, 50, 60. You want to be proud of something that you did in your life. Do something that you're going to be proud of, and that's going to echo when you're gone. Having the fly gear, the shoes, and all of that, the hose, that doesn't mean anything. But having great works, having a legacy, and having a trail of accomplishments means everything. But you guys let me know what you think about this video. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Date Master.